We know politics can be messy and at times personal or vindictive. That drama easy to escalate in small town governments. And a recent case in Oregon shows just how bizarre and contentious leading a community can be. It's our big story tonight. One of the wildest stories in Oregon politics is playing out right now, not in Salem, not even in Portland, but in a small town in Lincoln County along the Oregon coast. The mayor of the city of Waldport was voted out by city council and then escorted out of a subsequent city council meeting by deputies as the crowd raged in the mayor's support. Producer Ashley Koch went to Waldport to find out what's going on here.
Ashamed of yourself. Shameful.
That's Heidi Lambert, now former mayor of Waldport, being escorted out of a city council meeting earlier this month after council unanimously voted her out of office. Minutes later, she was let back into City Hall to cheers from the crowd. Lambert would end up with a ticket.
My word was disrupting the peace.
All this just 4 months after she took office in the city of 2,200 people, about 15 miles south of Newport. It's been a rocky 4 months, involving suspicions of financial irregularities by a local nonprofit, confrontations at City Hall, and the mayor ultimately accused of cronyism.
Talk about small town politics.
That's city manager Dan Cutter. He says this all started with a local nonprofit.
So, unfortunately, Beachcombers is kind of the linchpin that gets us into what happened with the mayor.
Last summer, Beachcombers came to the city asking for a grant. They put on a big summer festival and at the time ran the city's farmers market. But Cutter says this year he turned down the group's grant request.
At that time, the numbers that they provided to the city and the information they provided didn't match.
He says the financial information looked suspicious, and he ultimately cut the city's ties with Beachcombers. That would be a decision that would prove unpopular.
I had a lot of questions about that conflict and how it was handled.
Lambert says she told people to write out their formal complaints and send them to City Hall.
I went to my mailbox and there was a lot more letters than the few that I thought might be there.
And all of them were opened. The clerks told her it was city procedure to open and scan all letters and send them to the city manager, Dan Cutter. Lambert called that procedure concerning.
Because my understanding was these were formal complaints about the city manager, so why would they send them to him? And they said that's what they were directed to do, and then asked me to leave.
The clerks say there was a lot more to that interaction. They both complained to city council about how the mayor acted that day. Finance manager Ellen Valentine called the interaction unacceptable and aggressive, saying that Lambert insisted that the letters be scanned to her and called it a relentless onslaught. Office manager Robin Morris says Lambert ordered her in a demanding tone and said she was very shaken afterward.
She raised her voice and it, elevated the conversation and got quite demanding and hostile with my staff.
It's a bit of he said, she said. There's no video. City Hall cameras didn't work that way.
They weren't set to record as security cameras. That's since been rectified.
But a hearing was called anyway.
And then they started telling me that they didn't trust me, that they thought that I was deceitful, that they knew that I had a pattern of hostility, and they asked me to resign.
City Council unanimously voted Lambert out of office, a 6-0 vote.
She showed no remorse, did not issue an apology for her actions in relation to the city staff.
Citing a city charter rule preventing city officials from ordering staff to do things for them.
The city manager is the boss, and he directs them about what they do and what they don't do.
I didn't understand the protocol. I think that this is a mistake and that I want another chance. I want to be able to work with them.
So on April 10th, Lambert emailed City Council and staff to let them know that she was not vacating her seat and that she planned to run the meeting as usual.
So I called my attorney and he said, if you feel safe, you need to go sit in your seat. They took your right away to make a public comment, so now you have to assert yourself.
Less than 5 minutes later, she was led out of City Hall. A crowd of people upset.
We voted her in.
I didn't vote for anyone. My vote. I heard this person, and you have taken away my vote.
But Cutter says it had to happen so council could get work done.
I can't have her sit and, we can't vote if she's voting. We can't just pretend that she's not there.
It's bizarre, to say the least. It's just really bizarre.
Lambert says she ran for mayor to teach her kids about the importance of democracy. Now they're seeing just how messy democracy can sometimes be.
More than ever, I want to teach them that no matter how afraid and terrified they are, they have to stand up. They have to say, that's not true.
Ashley Koch, KGW News.
Lambert says her attorney doesn't think her removal was constitutional and that she didn't get due process, so they're suing to get her seat back. She says she thinks she'll win. Dan Cutter says if that happens, he thinks the city will shut down and city staff will begin to quit. In the meantime, he says the mayor's seat will stay vacant until the legal process is resolved. So what do you think about this coastal small town drama? Let us know. Email the story at kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail 503-226-5090.